Hi guys, it's Mask Monday. My name is Fawn, this is my channel, and I like to join up with the other ladies. There's lots of us that do Mask Monday and I think it's brilliant, and we all get to chat and tell you what's going on in our lives. So if you like that kind of thing, please do thumbs up, click subscribe and leave a comment. I need help today. I'm feeling really sort of congested and yucky this morning. The weather here in the UK is really tough. We're getting snow, we're getting ice, we're getting rain, we're getting, sleet. It's really weird weather, and the heating in the house is going up and down and up and down. So I'm feeling really congested and ugh. So this week I thought I'd finally open up and use my Grace and Stella mud mask. And I'd also use something that I got in a box the other day, which is the Mud Masky eye mask stuff. This is the one that's supposed to smell funky, but I don't think does. So I thought I'd slather that on while I was chatting to you. Oh, it is the most revolting colour though, this. Can you see it? As I say, I don't think it smells that bad at all. It is a different smell. It's not like a perfumey, most face creams and things, they smell sort of perfumey, and this doesn't. I hope I'm not putting it too close to the eye, but actually that's nice. I can feel that already. That's nice and cool, and yeah, I can feel that already. Okay. Doesn't really show. It just looks like I'm dirty, doesn't it? Or like I've got like really old black eyes. But yeah, I don't mind that smell at all. Okay, and here we go with the mud mask. All comes very nice. A little spatula. Make sure I can open it. Oh! Why did I have it in my mind that it wouldn't be this kind of colour? There. Right, let's get plenty of this on, shall we? Some people have they have like a special brush thing, don't they? I don't think I've got one. So this is going to be a fingers job. Fingers job. Smells quite nice. Not perfumed or anything, but just sort of what would I call it? Yeah, clean smelling, which is bizarre because obviously it looks anything but clean. I think that's probably enough if I spread that down my nose. Nobody else gets terrible blackheads on their nose. I do. I get the most shocking. But I was reading somewhere that it may not actually be blackheads, that it may be, I want to say filaments, and I don't think that's the right word, but that it may be little black hairs that are so small. And they sort of recommend that you don't go after them, but I hate having them. Just put the remainder down my neck, so I look like I've got a lovely dirty neck, shall I? So there we go, that's my mud masky on. Well, mud masky for the eyes, and the Grace and Stella mud mask for my face. This lockdown, what's it like, guys? It's just day after day after day of, it's like Groundhog Day, you know? And the fight to stay motivated is so difficult now, I think. I think we're all beginning to really struggle. I mean, in the early days, we had the sun and we were able to go in the gardens and sort of make the most of family time and all that sort of thing. There was a bit of novelty to it. There was a little bit of, the time of the year, I think, had a lot to do with it. But now we're on our third lockdown and it seems never ending, and there is no real, we're not being given very much information about when or if we'll ever come out of lockdown. I think we're all sort of running out of inspiration, you know? I know loads of people have like redecorated their houses virtually from top to bottom. Me, I keep saying I'm going to do it, and yet the actual motivation to do it just seems, but I am going to get on. I am going to get on. It's on my list. I have a list. Well, I have lots of lists, but I have a master list. And it's a list I don't refer to too often because it will make me feel depressed because I'm not getting the things off there. But they're the big things like, wallpaper this room or paint that. So they're things that, they're not an hour's job. They're things that need a little bit of planning. So I have a master list, and then I have lists, not smaller lists of sort of smaller tasks. So to be able to wallpaper a room, I might need to, I don't know, clean out various cupboards or whatever. So I try and break tasks down. So I have my master one, and then I try and break it down into smaller steps and try and achieve some of them. And so far I'm not even achieving some of them. I was looking at my list this morning. I've got one that lives by the side of the bed, which is not my master list, but it's just sort of smallish. And I was thinking, right, what am I going to get done today? What am I going to tick off today? And I was thinking, oh, what about sitting in my chair in front of the telly, eating chocolate, watching Midsummer Murders? I mean, I don't know, but I watched Anne with an E, Anne of Green Gables, Anne with an E. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It got a bit silly towards the end. I think she should have grown up a bit more in it, but the first episode had me crying, so that was it. I watched a lot. It was my Nick's birthday yesterday. I'm not going to say how old he was. He's very self-conscious about age and things like that, but yeah, it was his birthday, so it's very low-key. I mean, he is keto mad, as you can, I mean, I'm sure I've told you, I've come off the keto diet for the time being. When I got all gloomy and down and everything, just everything seemed on top of me, and my coping mechanism is food. You know, I don't drink. I don't have a very good tolerance to drink at all, never did have. And even when I was a youngster, a teenager, and I used to go out drinking with my friends, it only took a couple and I was in a terrible state, and I paid for it the next day. My body just doesn't tolerate it well. So I don't drink, and I mean, I've never done drugs. We can't really go anywhere to distract ourselves. My way of dealing with pressure or stress or anything like that is to eat. And I'm one of these people who, I was brought up in a family where food was the way you showed love. You know, we weren't wealthy. I'm sure I've said that before. But what we used to do, because we couldn't buy presents for each other, you know, we'd buy we got into habits of buying, I don't know, a particular cut of meat or something, and we would cook a meal for somebody. We would bake a cake for somebody. That was how we showed love. That was what we did when someone was happy or sad, you know. So we celebrated with food, but we also commiserated with food. And even though I know that's what I do, it's still a very difficult problem. Well, not even problem. It's a difficult habit to stop. So I felt like I was sort of, yeah, I was dealing with some stuff. And at the same time, I was punishing myself by withholding food. So I just thought, you know what, poo to it, poo to the lot. I'm going to eat normally for a couple of weeks and then get back on. Because I know I need to, and I want to for myself, for my own health. But yeah, mentally I'm just not there at the moment. But hubby is one of these really, he gets almost addicted to things. He gets really, when something gets under his skin, he thinks something's a good idea or a bad idea. And if he takes against something or he decides something is something, you know, great to do, he is religious about it. Absolutely. So it's his birthday yesterday. I mean, I cooked him a fillet steak for his dinner. But I couldn't, you know, I mean, we can't go anywhere anyway, but, you know, there was no birthday cake or anything like that because he won't eat any of that sort of thing at the moment. Oh, well, hasn't now for over a year. I keep telling him he's beginning to look like a twiglet. He's skinny. And so we just sort of chilled here. The kids came in, the grandkids came in, they were funny. Just running around and being excited. And my daughter had baked a cake for him, but obviously he wasn't going to eat any. We knew that. It's just the children think that on a birthday, a person has a cake with candles and you sing happy birthday. So we did do that. And he had lots of nice things. He's very difficult to buy for, especially because it's so close after Christmas. You've sort of used up your good idea. He's difficult to buy for in the first place. And then if you're lucky, you get an idea and that's Christmas taken care of. And then his birthday comes around, you know, and you're like, what? So he just had lots of bits and pieces. He needed quite a few clothes, no surprise. But he did need clothes because he's gone from a 36, 38 inch waist to a 30 inch waist. So I mean, that's a hell of a weight loss. So we're gradually replacing all of his wardrobe too, but he's far more reluctant than me. He's the sort that goes, no, these trousers are fine, as he walks along with them sort of, you know, billowing behind him. So yeah, I bought him lots of clothes and some nice shoes and things like that. So we had a nice day, a quiet day, but a nice day. he's been so brave. He's had a few things just recently. He finally went and had his flu jab after being brave enough to have his coronavirus vaccine. He was so surprised at how well he managed that when they contacted him and said, you haven't had your flu jab either, and we would really like you to, he said, okay, I will, so long as my wife can come too. So I went too, and he did that. And then without telling me, he can be very funny about things, but many years ago, we'd been together, I think 2 years. I got concerned because my beloved was ginger. He's not ginger now, he's bald. But he was ginger and very pale skinned, blue eyed. He used to do fake tanning. He was a real gym bunny. When I met him, he was always at the gym, and he used to have a sunbed session, I think a couple of times a week. So that he always had a light sort of golden glow. And when I found out that's what he was doing, I wasn't very happy, because he also, in common with ginger people, has a lot of freckles and moles and bits and pieces. And I said, it's really not good. You should not be doing that. Well, it took a few years of concerted nagging on my part for him to find a place called a skin clinic. And he goes every year, and they photograph all his freckles and moles and things like that. And then they compare them year on year to see if everything's okay. And so far, he's had to have a few, I suppose over the last 5 or 6 years, he's had a few moles removed that they were just not sure about and decided, yeah, that looks like it changed, we'll get rid of it. But he's had another one on his face, and this one the doctor wasn't sure about, so he's taken a biopsy. It's so funny, I was writing a note about this and I said my husband had an autopsy. That's not quite right, is it? But they've done a biopsy, they've taken a little bit of skin and so on from here. He's got a plaster on there at the moment, but he's very brave. He went and did that, and I know how frightened he gets. But he's aware. I mean, he also, being a ginger, blue-eyed, very British boy, spent a lot of his childhood, his father was a pilot in the RAF. He spent time in Singapore, he spent time in Kenya, Canada, lots of places when he was young, but lots of very hot places. Canada's not one, but you know, and all the photos of him as a kid, you know, he's outside in a pair of shorts, you know, doing his own thing. And he was the last child to be doing that, really. And with his colour skin these days, we'd be putting factor 50 on, we'd be being careful. So of course the damage is done when they're really young, well, when he was young. And because I worry about it, he's been very good. He's going and doing it. So he's been so heroic just lately. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how brave he's being. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's fine and there's nothing much there. And I would have thought there's nothing much there. I'm not too worried because he has had these before, but they're just constantly monitoring. And I'm just proud that he's willing to do it, knowing how phobic he is about these things. I'm proud that he's willing to go and do it and just keep things watched. So yeah, so there's that. So he's got a plaster. What am I doing? Plaster up here that he's wandering around with, and he did that the day before his birthday. So but he's very coy about it. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me before. He couldn't even speak about it, that this was going to be done. So he went and did it, and then afterwards he rang me and he said, you know, oh, I've done it, you know. But yeah, proud of him. So we're going to wait on that, but I'm not worried. I'm not really worried about the results of that. I think even if they do find something, they'll have caught it so early, because we do this, or he does this freckle and mole clinic. And I'd advise anyone out there that's got lots of freckles and moles, and you know their parents weren't spot on with that, get yourself checked every so often, because it is surprising. It is surprising what they'll find, and it's surprising the difference it can make. My mum had one. She had they call it a rodent ulcer form of cancer that came up here on her head, and she had it for a long time. And one day I went to the doctors about it in the end, because we were always nagging, and they took that, and that was, you know, that was 25 years ago. But I mean, if she hadn't gone, that could have, well, I mean, ultimately it can kill you, can't it? But so yeah, don't be frightened, go for it, guys. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I was told, even if you do it with a phone yourself, even if you can't afford to go to a fancy clinic, if you've got a mole, like I've got, I don't know if you, which side is it here, I've got a beauty spot type moles, brown. Sometimes if I put too much makeup on, it just looks like a big moly, but it's actually a beauty spot type. I don't mind it too much, but I take a picture of it. I put something for scale next to it. sounds stupid, doesn't it? But whatever I happen to have on hand, I try to stick to the same sort of things, but I take a picture of it every year, and then I can compare it and I can see if it's changed, because sometimes you just can't tell. Do you know what I mean? You think to yourself, was that bigger, is that smaller, is that different? And you know, every year then I look at the picture and I go, yep, no, not changed a bit. So oh, I don't know, I talk about some nonsense in this, don't I? If only you girls knew how long this video is sometimes and how much I have to edit out, because the flights are fancy that my brain go off on. So yes, so today is a normal Monday. All the normal things to do, grandchildren, household. I've got lots of things coming this week. I've got a new Stitch Fix. Woo! I've done some other bits of shopping, and I'm so happy to be back, you guys. I really am. I'm happy to sit down and do this. And I must do more in the dairy. I think I'm going to do, well, we did lamps and lampshades, and then I never did any more, did I? I think I'm going to pull out all the china. That's going to be a shock, that is. If I put it all over the table and show you all the china, and you can help me decide what's worth keeping and what I should donate. Although where I'm going to donate it to at the moment, I don't know. But if I've found, with a load of those lamps, I put them on, is it Free Cycle it's called? And literally, I put the lamps up, the ones that I didn't want, and within an hour, somebody had got in touch and said, please, can I have? And she came and collected them, and then I got a nice little text afterwards to say, they're great, thanks very much. So that was really nice. I liked that. I know normally you give to charity and then the charity could get something out of it, but I'd rather give them away than try and sell them. So yeah, so I might do some of that as well. I've got to try and keep myself going for you guys, because you guys keep me going. So I'm going to go and wash this off, and then I'll come back and show you. But I tell you what, it's a nice mask, this one. It doesn't make my face feel all crunchy, but I'll be back in a mo. So there we go. I was actually impressed with that. That has left my skin feeling really soft. I don't know whether it would have cleansed anything out, but it does feel lovely and soft. Now, I've avoided clay masks because I think of them as something very drying and very sort of, you know, pore extracting type of thing. But that's beautifully soft. I don't know if I mentioned, hang on, where's my mist? There it is. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm also wearing the new contact lenses. I got them yesterday. At the moment, the jury is out for me. I'm a little bit, I am struggling to focus. Maybe it's the old brain, I don't know. But I am struggling to focus. I do feel slightly kind of woo about things. Not as bad as I thought it might be, but not great yet. I mean, I can't do my jigsaws. I love a good jigsaw, me, and I can't do a jigsaw at the minute because I can't make out the little pieces properly. Oh, this is lovely. I don't know if you're meant to use that much, but I felt like it. This is the Murad Hydration Prebiotic 3-in-1 Multi-Mist. I just felt, I mean, it was lovely and soft, but I felt like I needed to feed the face a little bit. Feed the face. Feed the skin a little bit. And then I can put some hyaluronic on, I think, because that's now moistened the skin up. Just a couple of drops, just to try and, you know. And I've ordered a box dye for my hair. It looks like, you know, from what I've read in the papers anyway, we're going to be lucky if hairdressers are open before May. And I am so grey now. It's my own fault. I didn't go for that appointment just before New Year. I should have done. I didn't. I got busy and I didn't go, and I thought, oh, this won't be a problem. And of course, I am now as grey as can be. So I've been quite bold. I've ordered a colour that is really, really gingery red. Got it from Superdrug. It's still coming. It's in the post. It's a L'Oreal Preference, I think. But it's quite an unusual, well, not an unusual colour, but it's quite a bold colour. And I've just decided to go bold. And hopefully I won't get what they call hot roots. You know, where your roots are like bright orange and then the rest of your hair is a bit brown. But I do have on hand in case I do have some semi-permanent sort of mid-browns. So if I do it and it's just like, wow, Belisha Beacon, then I can put a bit of brown over the top. But I'm hoping, I quite fancy jazzing things up and being really colourful for a little bit. Especially seeing as, you know, I'm wearing my hair really chaotically at the moment. So yeah, that feels quite good. I just put a moisturiser on and then I'm good for the day, really. I'll definitely use those again. So that was the Mud Masky eye mask. I don't know well, I don't know. I mean, you've got to keep using it, haven't you, to see whether the results are there. And the, let's get the mess off it. The Grace and Stella, no. Do you see what I mean about the contact lenses? Because I can sort of read that. So it is better than it was. Meet Mud, your skin's new best friend. So I can sort of read it, but I've got to sort of stare for a while and let my brain and my eyes decide that they're going to read that. So I'm living in hope anyway. So yeah, that's what I used. And then I'm finishing up with my old favourite, which is my Squeezy Green. Squeeze Green Watery Gel Cream. It's one of these Korean ones. I'm hoping I can get some more of this. But of course, with the post, the pandemic, the whole lot. Because I got this from, I think it was Our Style. Because this stuff, I just love it. It's like putting water on my face, but you can feel that it's got more than water to it. And now I can go downstairs, make myself a cuppa and a slice of toast and marmalade, because I'm not dieting. While all this soaks in and my skin recovers, and actually chart out my day and hopefully be a little bit more productive today than some of the others. But then, you know, it's quite productive sitting on the sofa watching Anne with an E. Okay guys, take care and I'll see you really, really soon. Bye.